Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Aldzakwaan. I am from BBE. I will tell a story about a small kindness I never forget. Um, it was a cold, gloomy afternoon in early December, the kind of day where the sky seemed perpetually overcast and the street felt emptier than usual. I was walking home from school, my mind preoccupied with the usual way the responsibilities. My coat was barely enough to shelter me from the biting, and I found myself feeling the color up higher. Wishing I could hurry home to the warmth of my apartment. As I passed the familiar cafe on the corner of my street. I noticed an old woman sitting on a bench outside, wrapped in a shabby scarf. She seemed to be waiting for someone, but but there was no one inside. I had seen her many times before, but today something about her caught my attention. Her hands trembled as she held onto a cup of coffee, and her face looked more weary than usual. I kept I kept walking for a moment, but something inside me inside me paused. I turned back and approached her, my heart racing slightly with uncertainty. I wasn't sure why, but I felt a strange compulsion to do something. But um, maybe it was the look, or maybe it was cold that made her seem even more fragile than she already was. Um, Excuse me, I say, my voice quite higher. Then I attended. Are you okay? The old woman looked at me, uh, look, look at up to me, her eyes soft but tired. She smiled, though it didn't quite reach her eyes. I'm fine there. I just waiting for my daughter. She usually here by now. I could see that the was fine. She was cold, lonely, and perhaps even a bit afraid. I didn't know what made me do it, but I sat down beside her on the bench. Do you mind if I sit with you for a while? I asked. It's breathing out here. I could use some company. She is widening slightly in surprise, and she clucked softly. Well, I can say not to good company. It's been a long time since someone uh, sat with me. We sat in silence for a few minutes. Uh, the wine waving around us, uh, but the warmth of the moment began to sink in. I learned that her name was Margaret, and she had lived in the neighborhood for over 30 years. Her daughter Emily lived a few towns away, and told whole spoke on the phone often. It wasn't the same as having her nervy. I share a little about myself too. I do simple things. My school, my family, and small things that made up my daily routine. Margaret listened, her gentle smile never fading. As we talked, the time seemed to slow down, and I forget all about the rush of the world around me. Eventually, the silence between us grew comfortable. Margaret mentioned how she missed the days her doctor to live closer when they could have coffee together and talk for hours. I felt a pang of sadness for her, realizing how much she longed for the simple moment in many of us take for granted. As the conversation word of Margaret Doctor final arrived, hurrying toward us in apologetic look on her face. I'm sorry, mom. Mom, I got caught in traffic, she said, bending down to kiss her mother on the cheek. Margaret smiled warmly and pat her doctor's hands. It's all right there. I wasn't lonely. I had got company. I stood up, realizing it was time for me to leave. It was nice talking to you, Margaret. Take care, I said, giving her a smile. Thank you, dear, Margaret said softly, hair twinkling little brighter now. You made you made my day. As I walked away, I could shake the feeling that something inside me had shifted. I had gone out of my way. However, bravely, I had gone out of my way, however bravely, to offer kindness to someone in need, and in return, I had found something precious, a connection. It was just a small gesture, sitting on a bench with an old woman for a few minutes, sharing a conversation, but it was enough to remind me to importance of slowing down, of noticing the people around us, and offering even a smile kindness when we can. That day, Margaret had shown me that even in the midst of our busy lives, a simple act of kindness could leave an imprint on someone's heart. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you for watching my video. See ya.